says the referee. And he will get us underway. Yeah, I agree with the boys. I mean, it really is must-win for both. Salford went on a fantastic run, didn't they, at the second half of last season, which took them all the way to Old Trafford. For Castleford, it is now or never after those 3 defeats since lockdown. A really important 80 minutes coming up, and a crunching tackle to get us underway from the aforementioned Luke Yates.
Well, Luke Yates, isn't he an impressive character? And the work rate, he didn't even play the full match last weekend, and his stats were 13 carries, 58 tackles, so that's the reason Ian Watson has decided to put him in the middle, and it's a running pack, isn't it? Small in stature, but you can see already they're not going to stand or take a backward step when it comes to defending.
Brilliant, wasn't he, for London last year? Luke Yates nearly managed to help keep the Broncos in Super League, but not quite. And a kick away from McShane. The take from Niall Evans. An important night coming up, of course, for Niall Evans. John and Brian talking about the timing of the announcement. Of course, it was one of Super League's worst kept secrets of Evans joining Castleford for next year. What do you make of the timing?
I thought it was absolutely terrible, but I've said that before. I don't think we should talk about next season. I want to enjoy this season, and I suppose tonight I want to enjoy this game. So I don't see the benefit. I can't see many benefits at all in saying who's signed for which team next year. Let's stick in the game, let's stick in the minute, and let's stick with Salford here, who was soft in the centre last week. They go wide now early with their attack.
Yeah, Lower here, and Evans involved and trying to get the ball out. It goes forward, so Evans with the error.
Well, what they've done is they've put the cards out, haven't they, Castleford? They've told everybody, and like you said, it was the worst kept secret. And what they've done is they've antagonised, or looked to antagonise that player and knock him off his game, and he is under pressure. The Niall Evans Cup, as it's been tagged this game, is about Salford against Castleford and the 17 against the 17, but it does put just that element of heat on the fullback, because he's not going to want to be accused of abandoning his current team and not want to unimpress the fans that are watching him that he'll be playing in the shirt for next year.
Absolutely, the spotlight will be on Evans and his opposite number, of course, Gareth O'Brien. Early stages, Matautia and Griffin, and it's intercepted by Kevin Brown, and Brown will go from halfway and go under the post, and what a start for Salford. Kevin Brown with his second try of the season. The error on halfway from Castleford, and Brown picking up the pieces perfectly.
Well, great pace from the veteran halfback. What he lacks for in actual pace and speed, he makes up for in his thoughts and his decision-making. He puts himself in the line of fire, doesn't it? He's in the passing channel. When that ball is in flight, he's nowhere near anybody, so he's not going to be able to make a tackle if it actually hits a Castleford player. He puts himself in that channel where the ball will be. He's smart enough to pouch the ball, and that's no easy skill, let me tell you. And with half the field to go, he pins his ears back and gets Salford that start that they talked about before the kick-off. We need to start well, and they've done just that.
Well, he is one of the smartest players in the Super League era, that there is no doubt. Kevin Brown, maybe 35 years old, 400+ career games, but he knows how to win a game. Well, that went in just it is 6-0, but look at this from Brown.
An amazing start to the game with that kick. You know, the best ball players have got vision. Kevin Brown clearly has that, but they've also got the keenest sense of smell. And he can sense an opportunity in off the upright there, I should say. 6-0 to Salford, and that is a very good start. His sense of smell, he could anticipate where that ball was going to be, Kevin Brown, and he put himself into position to take full advantage.
Yeah, well, George Griffin against his former club, the guilty man. So the perfect start for Ian Watson and for Salford. Yeah, but it is all about getting on a run. Speaking to Watson in the week, he believes that they have the players. He puts the 50 points defeat to Hull down as a blip, but he vehemently believes that they can get up that table and up into the top four.
He criticised their energy and enthusiasm. There's lots of things within the team that a coach can forgive, but a lack of energy, a lack of effort and enthusiasm is a bare minimum.
Penalty, too slow. You were still in contact and the ball comes out.
Yeah.
Penalty from the referee.
Robert Hicks there, too close.
No, mate, because
he
the
was
ball
still in
comes out,
contact. McMeekan. Penalty to Salford. And here, you know, Castleford just putting pressure on themselves in these early stages.
Well, you'd expect a response from Salford, conceding 50 points.
Yeah, mate, well,
but some of the ball movement and player movement last week I thought was impressive. They were a little unlucky. They conceded some tries from kicks, and losing Ken Seo early on certainly didn't help them. Had to readjust and didn't do that well enough.
Dave Greenwood missed the last 6 through injury. It's an opportunity. He'll be hoping to make the most of it.
Yeah, good to see him back. Joe, of course, played in the previous game for Wigan. Good to see the brothers back on the field.
Lola here. Ball inside. And from but Salford here look hungry. Brown on the ball, and well, that was nearly intercepted. The ball comes back for Niall Evans. Cats up against it here as Evans looks for a way through. Tackled by Griffin. A couple of tackles left in this set for the Salford Red Devils. Oh, well read. Good tackle from Shenton to bring down the dangerous Lola here. Here is Brown then. Oh, that's a brilliant pass. What a try that is from Niall Evans. Well, Kevin Brown is the star of the show so far as Niall Evans gets his 9th try of the season. Brilliant pass, brilliant finish.
Salford switch play better than any other side in Super League. Doesn't always come off, didn't always create points for them last week. But look at this, Kevin Brown switched from one side to the other and then turning the ball back inside. It's hard for defenders when the body's facing one way to turn as quick as the attacker. They weren't able to adjust fast enough, and Niall Evans extends the lead to 10 points. Simple, but highly effective for Salford.
I think that's Kevin Brown again. I think he recognises that Michael Shenton, who got up quick, let's not forget on Lola here, he's slightly out of position. He looks to go to that short side. And when he moves late, Kevin Brown sees out the corner of his eye Niall Evans. He gestures him onto the ball. He's good enough and skillful enough to make that pass, virtually reaching round, and then the acceleration, the threat, recognition from the player that we talked about so far for 7.5 minutes is enough to get a meat pie.
Inu to make it 12-0 in just 7 minutes. Well, that was a better strike of the ball from Crispin Inu, wasn't it? But for me, Niall Evans, one of the best support players in Super League.
Just look at the late run from Kevin Brown, though. He knows, he recognises, you can see the overchase. So he moves right, he knows he needs to make that tackle, Michael Shenton, so he goes right, then he moves left. And as Phil said, hips all facing the wrong way, the adjustments are too much. And then, yeah, support play supreme from that player.
Well, the first try came from a mistake, the interception given away by George Griffin. The second try eventually coming from the penalty given away by Mike McMeekan. I mean, costly errors both.
They've had all the possession, Salford. We're looking at our stats here. It's a 70-30 split. At some point, Castleford Tigers are going to get some ball. It comes down to how much energy they've got left in that tank. They've spent 8 minutes or 8 and a bit minutes defending.
Well, that shows they made more than twice the amount of tackles that Salford have had to make. 17 from the Red Devils, 40 coming up for Castleford. Well, that was run by Lawson.
Touched again.
6 to go.
Yeah.
At the moment, everything is going right for Salford.
That's their pet play, Salford. They look to go one side, put it back across the road, looking for those tired middlemen. And they're doing the same again here, cutting plays back inside, making some of those bigger men make too many tackles. Liam Watts being one of them.
Good run from McCarthy. Here is Mark Flanagan. Only passed 6 to play today. You can see his right leg heavily strapped. Brown inside the Yates.
Just look at that again. Both prop forwards making tackles. I think Liam Watts has done 2 or 3. Griffin's probably done 12 so far.
Brown with a cut-out pass. Elliot Keir, still 2 left in the set. 12-0. 10 minutes gone on the clock. This is brilliant so far from Salford as Brown tries to set things going again. Lola here is looking to get the offload.
Last. Move now. Hold me up. Hold, yeah, good there. Hold. Go last.
We'll come back for Tui Lola here. Chip towards the corner. And did that come off a Castleford player?
Greg Eden it is, isn't it? Tui Lola here and Salford. When they looked at the team sheet, I'm sure they looked at Greg Eden and that left side for Castleford Tigers and said, we're going to put him under the microscope. Wellham chasing. Inu, who's excellent in the air, gets the ball back, and thankfully for Castleford Tigers players, oh, I beg your pardon, it's Salford's ball.
This might sound strange, but there's a chance for Salford to maybe win the game. Win the game.
There's every chance.
12 minutes here.
Well, let's see what they can do. Lussick will go on his own. Oh, it was so easy. What a try from Joey Lussick. He saw the opportunity. And here, Salford are in dreamland. They scored 3 tries in the first 11 minutes. And Cass have been hit and hit hard. Clever, smart, superb from Joey Lussick.
Well, a smart kick from Salford into the corner, putting pressure on the winger, Greg Eden. And you can see Oliver Holmes offside. He picks up the ball. That means that Salford then get a penalty. And I would say that the second try, you could say that there was skill involved. You could say that Kevin Brown and the fullback Niall Evans outsmarted Castleford, but that's just soft. That's a very efficient defender in Oliver Holmes, not completing his assignment. Too far away was Peter Matautia to help out, and they will be fuming with that try. They don't mind conceding tries. An intercept, yeah, you can buy that. A skillful one, yeah, you can buy that, but that's just soft.
First try of the season. And you're right there, Barry. You don't see Oliver Holmes missing too many tackles. Inu to make it 18-0 as the clock just ticks past 12 minutes. Well, what a start and what a response. Remember, they were walloped 54-18 by Hull FC last weekend. And that was just clever from Joey Lussick.
One of the reasons why Salford got to the grand final was because of Joey Lussick's threat. Scoring tries exactly like that. Every player who plays in Super League knows that's what he's best at, that's what he likes to do, and that's what has helped Salford to win so many games in recent times. Massive disappointment there for the Castleford Tigers to concede in that manner. I've seen Castleford, though, we've all been to this ground not that long ago when they led 14-0 and then conceded 40 unanswered points. Have they got the ability and the learning from that experience to come back here now and start to put some points up, building their way back into the game with some confidence?
But they've got to get hold of the ball first.
Well, they will do, but it's what they do with it when they go. I suppose first they've got to tackle before they get hold of it.
Absolutely.
Go 3.
I mean, it really has been as one-sided as it possibly could be. They made 68 tackles at Castleford. At Salford have made just 17. That tells you everything about the dominance.
And you'll see, and you'll recognise in this set now some very tight plays. You can already see at the wrong side of the play of the ball, 3 players in Castleford shirts just trying to get some oxygen back into those lungs. Just coming up for 14 minutes, you'll see some of the outside backs, the back 5 as they term it, try and take some pressure off. But the ever dependable Nathan Massey will do that donkey work.
4, move!
Well, what Salford want to make absolutely certain of is they don't give away any silly penalties here. Already on the last.
Go.
Defending this set, and McShane will find that Danny Richardson, that is a a real up and down from Richardson. Picked up by Foster.
Still last tackle, though, Stuart.
Yeah, but Alex Foster is going nowhere. And the
pressure.
first real test of the Salford defence passed with flying colours.
It was good kick pressure on Danny Richardson. He didn't have time to place that ball where he wanted it. And the benefit of having all that possession for Salford Red Devils is they can focus on those small elements, those small margins within the games, of which kick pressure is one of them.
Surrender! Stand now!
Just very, very impressive. Of course, the platform was laid, wasn't it, by that one error, that interception, and it's completely turned everything round. One side is hugely confident and dumps and powers forward, and the other is just struggling to get a foothold in the game.
Well, how ruthless can Salford's side be? You know, again, they switch back to the other side of the field. They're looking to a strike out wide on the right.
Here they go with Wellham. Just playing with all the confidence that an 18-0 lead would give you. Lovely little step there, and brilliant hands here from Salford. With a knock on from Richardson.
No, I think it's play on, is it?
Well, that should be. Should that not be 6 to go? Well, it's still up in the air, and the ball will say that went forward, but there may well have been a knock on from Danny Richardson.
Well, you could just see, couldn't you? Paul McShane got up quick on Tuilula here, but because he was on his own, a little bit of footwork, and then Lulla here thinks, right, well, we'll have a crack, we'll have a run.
Get in, please.
There's a couple of ricochets. The referee didn't award 6 again. Good
Great
line
defence.
speed from Mark Flanagan.
Outstanding, wasn't it? Again, I don't know what the chocolate is in the box, Barry, but they were certainly soft in the centre last week against Leeds, the Salford team. They were too easy. But there, look, up, in, and 3 men round him. Very hard for the Tigers to make any meters.
They've got all the energy and the correct attitude, and that's something, if you cast your mind back to last week, Ian Watson questioning that attitude.
That was a big blow from Inu on Shenton, who loses the ball. The referee said there was a little help from a Salford hand.
Krishnan Inu. Yeah. Shoulder in, he dips down, but you can just see just having a little tug of the ball. They'll have a decent look at the line here now, Castleford. It's the only field position they've had, as far as I can see, in 16 minutes.
Well, it's the best field position that they've had, and you feel they've got to get something on the board, and it'll be a shot. Darryl Powell, I'm sure. Griffin against his former teammates, up to the 20. 3 tries in 11 minutes, and the first time that we've seen Castleford this close. A chance here. McShane charged for the line by Ollie Holmes, but already this is the last tackle. Watts will have a go himself, and the offload. Ball will come out, will it, from Richardson? He has nowhere to go, twisting, turning, eventually the kick through. That looks like a brilliant try from Danny Richardson. There looked absolutely nowhere to go. Sidestep one way, shimmied the next. The kick through, the collect, the chase, and it looks like the try, and if it is, what a try.
It's a try for me. A great try from a very instinctive player. He does his best, doesn't he, Niall Levels? But he keeps moving, he keeps his body in motion. He's got hold of the ball and he gets the ball down, but the pressure from Salford cut the options down. He went inside, outside, found some kind of space to thread the ball through, and then the bounce was perfect for the halfback. When I watch him play Danny Richardson, I want him to run more, because his threat with the ball isn't as good as it should be, but that is what he can do when he pins his ears back.
I think that's a fair point, because I think one of the criticisms that Justin Holbrook at St Helens had with Richardson last year, which is why he chose Farge over him, is that he didn't take on the line as much as he would like, but he certainly did there.
Well, Castleford needed something to start the fire, and he's done that. I love to see halfbacks kicking the ball, dribble through, chip over the top. We've seen him there. He's certainly now got his side back interested in the game. They've got some points on the scoreboard. and they've shown a threat. They needed a maverick player to come up with something, because Salford's defence has been brilliant in this opening quarter, closing down all opportunities, keeping the ball alive. He backs himself here though. Look, spinning around, thinks, I've got to put the ball through, try my best. Maybe a try he scored probably as a 10-year-old, that sort of style, didn't it? There's nobody around him, there's no coaching involved here. He's just backed himself with the vision. He's seen a hole behind the line, put the ball through. And the Castleford fans, well, they can start to believe they've got an hour now in which things can start to get better.
Well, it was instinct, and it was vision, and it was very, very clever.
He's done that a million times in his amateur days, and it's come off just as many times. He's that type of player that has that confidence and belief that when he dabs something through, it's going to bounce perfect, he's going to get it and score the try, and that's exactly what happened.
And you get an extra tackle in the set restart. Given by Robert Hicks, but what an entertaining first quarter. 18-6 to Salford, but now all of a sudden, another set restart. And
you see how the momentum just starts to level up, doesn't it? Salford had all that period where it was virtually 85 playing 15 in terms of percentage.
Meekan has dropped the ball. Well, what an opportunity gone. You would think you talked about the momentum, and then comes the mistake.
Well, Tuilola here was desperate. He's tackling with his arms rather than his shoulders. It's always a danger. You could get pushed off and bumped and embarrassed. But luckily for him, Meekan loses the ball, and on the halfway line now. Salford are going back. Having conceded points, do they still play with as much confidence, pace and ball movement?
It was smart from Chris Welland.
Well, they know they've got to protect Tuilola here. He missed 6 tackles last week against Leeds Rhinos. They really put pressure on him, so the second rower, the back rower inside him has to work. And then Chris Welland, who's as tough as Teague, he'll have to protect his halfback as well.
3, move, George! Hold, go 3.
McCarthy brought down Lussican.
Be cleaner, George.
Brown with a little short pass. Who's there? But Niall Levels, 54th consecutive appearance for the Salford Red Devils for Niall Levels, and he's already scored a try. And Lola here looking for a way through. Well, that was a poor option from Tui Lola here on this occasion. And gratefully picked up by Ollie Holmes for the Tigers.
Relief for Castleford. No threat at the end of that set. Gearing towards that side, that edge. Shenton comes up, Matautia comes up, and looks like they've made a mistake again. Alex Foster, well, he's chuntering away at the referee. He's asking the touch judge to help out. Has he got a case?
There you are, mate, that's it.
Defenders all over him as he's standing up.
No, go back. Go back, no, when I said not.
Yeah.
Let's get in, please.
Yeah.
The ref was right.
Richardson and the rest of Castleford Tigers, they know they've got to do some defending now.
Gil Dudson.
Held! Release the ball! Hold, go on.
Brown again involved, and Eccles looking for a way through, but key moments in this game, without a doubt. Elliot Keir at dummy half. Brown switches the play, inside it goes, and the run from young James Greenwood.
At Richardson, big man on little man.
Brown again. Lola here. It's a short pass again for Tyrone McCarthy. 22 minutes gone. They'll go the short side. But Welland dabbed a little ball through, and eventually it came off the boot of Greg Eden.
I agree. I think he's touched.
I think that's a goal line drop.
I think he's touched this. He's trying to con the referee, and if he hasn't touched it, then Darryl Powell will say to him, listen, boot that into next week, send it all the way to Beckett Park.
It's a great kick, isn't it, by Chris Welland?
Yeah, he's a skillful player. We all talk about his toughness, but his delicate skill there. The referee said he didn't touch it. I think he's got off lightly there, Greg Eden. Cast Tigers.
1, move Tyrone. Hold, go 1.
I don't think this is the best angle. The other angle, as we watched it live. But it doesn't matter. Castleford Tigers will want some possession, that want to get to the back end of the 6. Build some pressure on Salford.
Hold me. Hold.
Matautia.
Kevin.
Quick play
Good
the ball.
tackle by Dudson on Watts.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hurt him.
No, there's no advantage,
He
is there?
stayed down, Phil,
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
came off Gil Dudson.
I mean, he was side on, Barry, as he makes
Yeah.
the pass, so I suppose his rib cage is exposed. I don't think there's anything legal. It's not late to
No.
me.
It's Castleford's ball.
Oh, it's a crunchy tackle. Gil Dudson's been impressive in the start. Top tackler so far for Salford. Carried the ball, made some passes, drawn in the Tigers defenders,
Yes.
and really hurt the big man for the
I like that,
opponents.
Phil. I like that. If you're going to play well against Castleford Tigers, you have to quieten players like Liam Watts down, a player that
Just get us a yard.
at the early part of his career, let's say, played emotionally and made some mistakes, but he's really refined his art under Darryl Powell and Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, just spoke to him.
And what he's done there, Gil Dudson, is he's shortened him right up, hasn't he?
Okay. Maybe play the ball.
Left him on the floor. He can puff his chest up now and start to eye up the rest of the forwards in Castleford Tigers shirts and say, right, who's next?
Yeah.
No, I just think.
Is that what you used to
Well,
do?
just to remind you what's coming up on Friday, another double header from Headingley. Huddersfield against St Helens. St Helens with a chance to go top of Super League after Hull Kicks and Rovers' stunning win over Wigan tonight. And that will be followed by Warrington against Hull FC. Warrington, despite having 6 players who are forced to isolate because of the COVID cases at Wakefield, going ahead with the fixture. This is an important moment, this, for Cass, because without a doubt, Liam Watts is the glue that holds the Castleford pack together.
And because they're tired, because they've invested all that energy in defending, you're not getting as much movement both sides of the ruck. When Castleford attack and they attack with threat, it's both sides, and defenders can never guess which side it's going to go. The key indicator, of course, is the fullback. And it's Gareth O'Brien tonight.
Hold.
I'd like to go back and look how we restarted that set then, Barry. It was a good point you made, but I don't know how Castleford got the ball and the referee restarted the tackle count.
Go 2.
Matautia for Oliver Holmes.
Hold.
Can Cass really get themselves back into this game with another try? Watts fronting up straight away after that big collision with big
Move now, back up,
Gil
please,
Dudson.
Luke, step back. Go.
McShane. Little run around move, and McShane now will get the ball out, and that's a terrific try from Michael Shenton. No doubt whatsoever on this occasion.
It's not even checked, has it?
Shenton is superb running onto the ball. I think Salford there were claiming there may well have been some obstruction, but the try is given.
Just like the first game with Churl, if you run behind your own teammate here, at that point, there's an element that's saying there was no obstruction on Tyrone McCarthy.
Do you know, when you watch it again, I think he's just about got it right, Robert Hicks. As the player goes through, he doesn't touch anybody. The only person he touches is Tyrone McCarthy. But the ball's already gone. Tyrone McCarthy's more hitting Oliver Holmes out of a little bit of frustration. The Tigers, well, they've got themselves back into this game, haven't they? 2 tries in 4 or 5 minutes, but I think he's probably got that right. But my instinct at first was, let's have a look at it. But he's backed his first judgment, and we can't criticise him for going over and over again when they back the judgment.
I'm still fascinated who they got the ball after the Liam Watts injury. It seemed to be like, you've had somebody down on the floor for a while here. You can have the ball, we'll start another set of 6.
Yeah. I think it was play on, but because Watts was injured, it was McShane who played the ball. But Richardson reduces the deficit to 6 points. Salford led 18-0 after 11 minutes. And there's the incident.
Is there a knock-on?
Perhaps the referee said that Gil Dudson's hit the ball.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and there we can see it.
yeah.
18 points to 12. And what a cracking 25 minutes this has been.
2 committed sides, aren't they? Both coming off the back of defeats. Both wanting to prove to themselves, the other players in the changing rooms, that their attitude is spot on. They do care about results, and they do care about the manner in which they go about their business.
Go on.
But for Michael Shenton, And he is cast through and through. Had those couple of years, of course, with Saints and played in a grand final, but 322nd appearance for the Castleford Tigers tonight.
A wonderful professional as well. You can see, well put together, works hard on his game, always asking questions of the coach. Looking to improve, and obviously looks after himself and lives the right way. Deserves everything he gets.
Yeah. Great player. For me, one of the best centres of the Super League era.
I played with, I'm very, very biased, but I played with the best in Keith Senior, but yeah, he's in the discussion. Liam Watts taking a high one. He's only just come on the field, Big Seb. Yeah. But again, more field position, and when Castleford have got down to this end, to our right as we're watching, they've asked some questions, haven't they?
Well, look, it just seems like, well, you have 12 minutes, we'll have 12 minutes, and we'll see how many we can score. Cass looking to level here. Griffin. McShane waiting, as always, and Richardson there looking for a way through, but certainly taking the line on tonight. Danny Richardson, Meakin. Watts has recovered after that clash with Dodson. Good offload, and McShane again. Matantia involved, and
goal line hold.
Chance again as Holmes is brought down just shy of the line. McShane will go on his own. Can he get the ball down? The referee, Robert Hicks, will send it upstairs again to Ben Thaler. But I just wonder, I reckon Paul McShane has got Castleford's third try in 8 minutes.
He just about gets the ball down, doesn't he? Another occasion where a player is fighting to get the ball down. It's a good attempt by Tyrone McCarthy, who has his hand on the ball, but Paul McShane is just pushing it forward with his chest. Now, has he let go of that ball at the crucial minute? You can see at the last moment, in an effort to push it, he pushes it with his chest. I don't know.
Well, it's a try on the field.
It's a try on the field. It's gone up as a try. My first instinct when we were watching it was as a try. Darryl Powell asked his number 9 to run more, take on defenders.
You're now looking at milliseconds, aren't you, to say, is his arm still in contact with the ball as the ball hits the grass?
I think it's a try, but when you do slow it down, you can see the arm separate away from the ball. And
does
if you
it
look
separate
enough,
before or after, though, the ball hits the floor? That's what they're trying to get
here now,
I
agree, but I think it's a try.
Well, Ben Thaler is having to decide whether the ball comes out of the grasp of Paul McShane. Did he still
I think they need to watch it in full speed.
Yeah.
The belly of the ball is down before he pulls his hand off.
It's a millisecond.
I've called quite a few.
Remember,
I think it's down there, and his hand is still on it.
And remember, there has to be clear evidence to overturn it, because Robert Hicks has given the try on the field.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough now. It's a try, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some Salford fans jumping up and down, Barry, in a minute, saying that we're wrong, but they can't argue with the video referee. He's given the try, and it looks like if Danny Richardson nails this, we're back at 18-all. What an opening half an hour.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
Sensational entertainment, isn't it? Going from end to end. You were right. Salford had a batch of possession, they scored tries. Cass have had a batch of possession, and they've scored tries. But Paul McShane is such a dangerous player when he takes defenders on.
That's too simple a try for Salford to concede,
again,
isn't it?
Of course, and you can talk about defence and poor defence, and just as we accused Joey Lussick's try of being a soft try, you could throw the same there, but I think he had to work a little bit harder. He had defenders in front of him, and he's shown a little bit more determination to get the ball down.
And then we have it, 18 apiece. We've had 6 tries in 25 minutes. And who'd be a coach?
You've got to be able to ride the highs and lows, haven't you, in the game? When you're with and without possession here, Salford do the best, but can't prevent Paul McShane from levelling up.
Stay on, guys. Time to run.
And that possession that we've talked about a few times has evened up now. It's 50-50. And all the major stats as we're looking at them now are just about even. The scoreboard looks even, so it's anybody's guess who's going to win this one.
Well, it's a cracker. We've got the two longest serving coaches in Super League tonight. Darryl Powell, of course, his 8th year in charge of Castleford, took over from me in Millwall, didn't he, all the way back in 2013. And for Ian Watson, a 6th year in charge of Salford. They've both done fabulous jobs. Don't forget, against the odds, they both led their teams to grand finals.
Two outstanding coaches and two outstanding individuals. And I'm a firm believer coaching is about getting the best out of the people that you've got available, and both these coaches do that.
There could be more trouble here, and Brian goes all the way through. Richardson, great offload, brilliant Castleford try, and it's that man again, Paul McShane. This is astonishing. Castleford hit the front after 11 minutes. They were 18-0 down, made by O'Brien, carried on by Richardson, finished off by McShane.
This is outstanding rugby league, isn't it? The way they've kept the ball alive and his support play. Well, people have said, I don't think there's much difference between him and Josh Hodgson, who's highly regarded in the NRL. Paul McShane at his best is equally as impressive a player, supporting the ball. And what's he's made that pass here? Look, he hovers around, he times the run, the angle then too smart for any of the Salford side to get back and recover. This is offload, support play and speed, and when you combine those with the angle that McShane puts on the end of it, it's simply unstoppable for the Castleford Tigers. Brilliant rugby league at its very best.
His appetite is what gets him there, Paul McShane. He of course takes the offload off Liam Watts. That's his 4th offload of the game. He's also contributed to a couple of the other tries as big Liam Watts, but he makes himself available, McShane.
Well, there it is, the kick from Richardson. 24 points to 18, and we saw a glimpse there of Darryl Powell. That's probably his split kick, and you know, the McShane again outstanding, but the skill that we've seen so far tonight has been outstanding.
On this line, please.
Good skill, good commitment. Both teams have come here to play and to win.
I think we've seen every facet at a high level. Running, passing, tackling and kicking. That kick there, deep into the corner. A very high level of skill from all 4 parts of the game.
A surefire way of telling how good and entertaining the game is how quickly it's gone. And look, there's only 6 minutes to half-time.
2, move, hold, go 2.
18-0, Salford led. And then Castleford doing what we've seen Castleford do so many times with ball in hand over the years.
Yeah, and I wonder how many of the players watched the match before, and I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that this is a top of the table playing the bottom table mentality, but both teams under pressure need a win, coming off the back of losses. I wonder how many of those players thought, well, do you know what? You know, this is a little reminder that you can win any game if you put maximum effort in.
Well taken by Greg Eden, the kick from Tui Lola here.
Move now.
But it has been the pattern for basically 15 minutes. Salford didn't, Castleford, I should say, didn't touch the ball, and then the roles were reversed.
You shortened it, just stand up, Daryl.
Foster.
Still offload, still 2.
With the offload, and another offload.
3, move now. Get
I
square,
don't think
hold.
either side
Hold.
are worried about being cautious tonight. That's for sure. Here is McMeekan again taking play into the Salford half of the field.
6 again.
Well, he's given it 6 to go. The penalty there against James Greenwood, and this is another great opportunity for Castleford to go further into the lead.
He just let go of that, Liam Watts, yeah.
He just lost the ball.
Yeah, he's had a great game so far, hasn't he? 35 minutes. He thought about the offload, invited the defenders, and when Darryl Powell and Liam Watts watch this again, they'll see there's just... There you go, just watch this. He just lets it go. if the game's in the balance and it's the last second at Old Trafford, he would make more of an effort to keep hold of that ball. Do you agree, Phil?
I can't imagine what he was thinking.
Let's get in, please.
I thought the referee would just give a penalty.
Move now, hold, go on.
Not a bad replacement for Cansio, is it, Christian Inu?
Move!
If he gets involved often enough, that's the challenge with him. We need Lola here to get involved again now. He was outstanding on this ground a few weeks ago when they played Hull, but quiet for the last 30 minutes in my eyes.
That's okay.
Oh, Lola here and Brown have hardly seen the ball. This is where they do need to get involved, as you say. Here is Kevin Brown. Little switch play again.
Last grab straight out now.
And the Ackers on for his debut for the Salford Red Devils as Lola here puts one towards the far side, and Greg Eden does well.
There was a collision at the back, Stuart.
Escort.
Yeah.
Was it Shenton?
Yeah, the referee and touch judge both spotted it. It was very obvious.
Yeah, Shenton, I think.
As that ball goes up again, targeting a high kick at Greg Eden, you can just see Michael Shenton. He reverses into Inu, who does his best.
The old pro.
Yeah.
He's good.
On both sides as well, because Inu does his best to fall over as well.
He did it very well. So here we go with 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Can Salford get on level terms? Shots for the line from Greg Burke and held over the line.
Greg on the 10, please. 2 markers in. We'll go straight into there.
The way that this match has gone, at 24-all at half-time would be about right. Here is Ackers and Kevin Brown. Lola here with the short pass. And there is Yates. Lola here. You said Lola here had to get involved. You said Brown had to get involved. And they have. And there's the try from Luke Yates. And are we going to see 24-all at half-time? What a game.
Well, they look like they've almost patented this switch of play. They switch back again to the other side and score points from it. They're catching the Salford defenders too often. They're given this position. Obstruction by Shenton on Inu as he came through for the kick. And they scored in the first couple of minutes of the match. They've scored in the last couple of minutes of the match. Kevin Brown, switch of play, and the soft delayed pass there by Lola here invited Luke Yates. I don't know whether a brick wall 10 feet thick would have stopped Luke Yates from that speed and that distance. He was certain if his teammate can add 2 more points. We started the game with the teams level. We're going to end the first half in the same state.
And that's the second time that Salford have managed to find some space in between the same 2 players. Oliver Holmes and the stand-in, stand-off Peter Matautia not getting the spacings right, and he just drifted into that nice juicy hole.
Well, we talked about Lola here and we talked about Kevin Brown, and when they had the ball, every time they had the ball they looked dangerous, and they created so much when Salford had possession. So for a level game, and Christian Inu adds the extras. That's 4 out of 4, and it means he's 3 points now short of 1,000 in his career. But the execution, the plan was simple, and the try was well finished off by Luke Yates.
I don't believe that they've had enough time during the week to look at and make an in-depth plan about their opposition either side this week, because of course they played on Sunday. It's Thursday evening now. There's been some recovery. Players time after time are turning up for training or turning up for games, probably still stiff and sore from the game before, but they've worked on something, and that's the second time, as we've said, that they've managed to get over the try line, looking at and putting pressure on the same 2 players, Holmes and Matautia.
Well, there we are, breathless and breathtaking. We have had 8 tries in the first 40 minutes. Salford racing out to an 18-point lead in just 11 minutes, and a brilliant comeback from Classy Cass. And then Salford with that try on the stroke of half-time from Luke Yates. The score's about right, and we're certainly not complaining about the entertainment. Terrific 40 minutes, and at half-time we can't separate them. It's Salford 24, Castleford 24.
Thank you very much, Stuart. How could you complain? In game one of our doubleheader here from Emerald Headingley Stadium, we brought you the bottom of the table Hull Kingston Rovers, who put 34.
Thank you, Brian. Follow that, I think, is the message to both Cass and Salford in this second half. Outstanding entertainment. And here we go. The highest scoring draw, by the way, in Super League history features Salford against Catalan and Perpignan back in 2015. That was 40 points apiece. We've got a way to go, but we expect a cracking 40 minutes.
Well, I'll answer Brian's question and I'll go for Salford, Barry. Which way are you tipping?
Castleford Tigers, just because you've gone that way, Phil.
Well, we'll have some entertainment in here. We've certainly had some entertainment out on that pitch.
I'll have your coffee on it tomorrow. I'll get the coffees if Salford win. But it should be a good 40 minutes. Fascinated to know what the what the coaches have said.
Yeah, we'll find out, I'm sure, from Jenna soon. That's a really good kick by Lola here, just 5 or 6 yards away from a 40-20. A little bit of frustration for the Kiwi. But certainly with ball in hand, both Lola here and Brown very influential in that first half for the Salford Red Devils.
It looks like he wanted to keep that in, didn't he? He wanted to bend that ball back, keep the ball in place, speed the game up. You don't necessarily need that break in play. Both teams fresh out the changing rooms.
Move now, hold, go
Eden with the run. McShane, so influential. What a good tackle that was. McCarthy and Hifo for Salford. Here is Matautia. Sees a lot of the ball, runs at the line, certainly playing a standoff, of course, tonight. Liam Watts, and that looked forward.
Yeah.
And the referee will call it forward. No doubt about that one from Danny Richardson.
The option was right. The space for the winger, Darrell Alforts, was there, but unfortunately the skill didn't match the ambition for that player. Yeah, just forward, wasn't it? It came from a couple of offloads.
Just wait, Luke.
Liam Watts finding a pass, and then as Castleford do, 1 leads to 2, leads to 3, and then if they manage to find spaces, if they manage to find gaps, then they're skillful enough to convert them.
Hifo for the Salford Red Devils inside Castleford territory. You just feel that there's tries and tries and more tries to come in this second half.
The reason I'm interested in the coaches, because I don't think either one of them will be looking at the plus column. They won't be looking at the tries scored, it'll be tries conceded. Ian Watson, he looks good, doesn't he, on the sideline? Good pal of mine, Adrian Morley from Salford.
Hold.
He looked like that on a regular basis, not in lockdown.
Oh, Eccles there looks for a way through on the last. Managed to get the ball away. Play on, says the referee, but in the end, a good defence it had to be from Cass. Holmes involved, but Eccles and Wellham nearly finding a way through, but they still want to play the expansive game.
No. Okay,
Both have really tried to use the ball as best as possible. We've got great conditions at Spinney with no atmosphere, with no supporters. The players having to create that themselves. There's no end of skill from both of these sides. If the ball comes free, the referee says it's gone backwards. Luckily for Greg Eden.
I think there was a hand in there from Salford as well.
So play on we go. Well, we're all interested to know, aren't we, what Darryl Powell and Ian Watson had to say after that dramatic half, and that could well be an error from Milner, and it is. So Salford will get the ball back. So let's hear what the coaches had to say. Jenna.
Stuart, what a game we have on our hands, 24-all. Ian Watson says that they must control the momentum swing. He thought that they had great control early, but just failed to turn over on their terms. He's happy with how they finished the half, and he wants them to pick up where they left off. Darryl Powell asked his players to keep their composure. They got off to a slow start, but they got right back into it, showed plenty of resilience. He's frustrated to concede that try on half-time. He says it's a tough game and he's looking forward to the challenge.
And a big challenge it's going to be as well. That was a flat pass, and it was too much for Tyrone McCarthy. The error this time from the Salford Red Devils, and that will frustrate Ian Watson, who again has just been talking about controlling the situation, and then they come up with an error.
You've got to applaud both sides. They both want to pass the ball. They both want to give the ball some air, as we say. Unfortunately, it ended up in a mistake there. But I think you'll see a little bit of this. It ended fairly tight for both sides.
Even with the run, Matautia wants to hurry on, doesn't he? Peter Matautia, back from a 2-match ban. He's had 2 suspensions this season already. Sounds a bit like my friend to my left here.
For a while.
How many times were you suspended?
A few.
Yeah, too many to mention.
Into the teens, almost into the 20s. But anyway.
Oh, great from Watts there. Richardson, he's got support. This is going to be a fantastic try. McMeekan will score for the Castleford Tigers. But another fantastic offload from Liam Watts. Brilliant from the prop forward. Talked in the first half about Watts being the glue that keeps Castleford together. Well, that was an offload like a standoff, but it was outstanding from Watts, and McMeekan puts the Tigers back in front.
Well, I don't think it matters which team you support. If you like good rugby, you're going to enjoy this second half, because we've got 2 brilliant teams who are willing to entertain us. I think the best sides get the best players to combine, and Watts and Richardson and that offload to a smaller, faster, skillful player who can then link with the outside backs. That's really what Castleford do so successfully in this play, and it's going to put them ahead. The ball then to McMeekan. His speed good enough to outpace any of the Salford cover and get the ball close enough to the post to make this an easier conversion. And again, they now take the lead. Wow, what a game.
Just got to get eyes on that. That's all we're going to do. 1 minute.
Mike McMeekan with the 9th try of what's turning out to be an astonishing match.
Was it Kevin Keegan when he was at Newcastle United as the manager? They used to say his team would always outscore their opponents, as if both these sides tonight have got that Keegan-like attacking mentality.
That's right. You score 4, we'll score 5. I think on this occasion you score 40 and we'll score 45.
Well, I love it. I love to see players passing to one another, and when the front rower, Graham Millington, who, let's not forget, has played probably a dozen times in the standoff role, just tips it onto the big man. He then reaches over, finds that offload over the top of players. And Danny Richardson, well, he could go a lot worse than just following the 8 and 10 that's on the field at the moment for his side.
Barry is choosing the Betfred man of the match. Good luck with that also.
Go straight out there, please. 2, move, time it, James, go. Come on, Salford, work with me.
Really is.
Lots of contenders. They've got a long way to go, of course, and Salford will get their share of position. There we go. There's Grant Millington. Yeah.
Do you know what? Has to be one of the best ever overseas signings
for Castleford Tigers, without
a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
His tenacity, his bravery, his courage. We've seen him play busted. His skill. Showed composure last week when Morgan Smithies was giving him a little head rub.
Yeah. 225 games in 9 years with Castleford, and he has been a true quality overseas signing.
And he looks fitter this year than he did last year. A couple of knocks and bumps last year that affected his game, but he looks fit and raring to go.
3.
He is an X-factor player for Salford. Big Paulie, one of those luxury players that coaches and teams will have on the bench. He's not going to do a massive amount of work, but what he does will damage the opposition.
Ackers finds Greg Burke. The ball has gone backwards.
Yes, play on. It was an offload from Greg Burke.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best.
Last one, last tackle. Lower here. Trying to put some pressure here on Gareth O'Brien, but he is one of the best in the business.
Was a knock on that.
I think he might have knocked on when he was getting up, but the referee was saying that I think Chris Wellham interfering at the play the ball. Let's have another look.
Steal.
It is Wellham, isn't it, with his hands all over the ball.
Come on, Paul.
Gareth O'Brien, of course, is on loan to the Castleford Tigers until the end of the season from Toronto. My levels, we know, will be going.
Go.
He's a great player and a great addition, isn't he, Gareth O'Brien? I talked about Paulie, an X-Factor player who will come and disrupt and change a game. Well, here's Castleford Tigers X-Factor player, just coming back from injury. Got a great offload up. Castleford sometimes use him in the middle. I think he's more effective out wide. He's running at smaller men, but soft hands, great skills, and of course, he had his injuries. So good to see him back out on the field, a big man with a lot of skill.
Only a second appearance of the season for Judy Moore. Speculation that he will agree a new deal and stay with Cass next year. And here he is. They're looking for more. Little chip from McShane. That's a good one and well taken. Brilliant take in the end from
Kristen Inu. It's a steal.
What a take.
It's a steal off Shenton. I'm sure Shenton seems to have his hands on it at one point. Before he can land, it's taken off him.
Surrender.
Caught in goal means it's a tap 20 restart. And Salford survive. He has.
He took it out of his hands. Well, I wonder if that is going to be a significant moment in this match.
Hold.
We're going to find out over the next half hour or so. The only surprise is that we played 11 minutes in the second half and had only one try, but more will come. Andy Ackers, who joined Salford in June from Toronto, but was suffering from a broken foot, which is why it's taken so long for him to make his debut, but he could be important. As could Paulie for the Salford Red Devils.
Move now, get square.
30 points to 24, with the promise of more to come. Brown. Well, that's great play on the far side. Williams goes for the corner. What strength and what skill from Rhys Williams. Evans it was with the break and pass. But wow, how on earth did Rhys Williams find a way to score the try? But what a try and what a game.
Well, I'd like to have another little look at that kick that was put in by Castleford. He jumps from the field of play, doesn't it, Inu? Catches it behind the line. And Salford certainly rode the luck when that went up. But it was a beautiful play, inside option for Kevin Brown, a short option, and he goes out the back. And the timing of the pass to Williams is perfect. He waits for the defender to commit himself. Darrell Olfitz comes in, he's attracted to the ball. My word, he does well to finish that. Powerful play of the Red Dragon, shrugs off two defenders, and the Red Devils are back in it.
Well, we've got 28 minutes to go. We thought we'd play 80 minutes. Can we play an extra half an hour?
Well, we might get golden points here the way this game. You might get your wish.
Inu off the touchline to level it up again.
Who's getting the coffee tomorrow? That's what I'm bothered about.
Kick it, kick it, kick
That's
it.
a beauty. That's
Yes.
a beauty. I remember him kicking one off the touchline at the grand final, didn't he, when Salford got their try just before half-time, and that was a beauty as well. 30 points apiece.
Well, Inu, as we see the try again, Kevin Brown and Evans do remarkably well, and it's a superb finish from the Welsh wizard there, Rhys Williams, to score.
Well, that means that Christian Inu now has 999 career points.
Well, I mean, Inu, he saved a try in the corner when we thought Shenton was going to score, and then he's levelled us with a kick from the sideline. It's effortless.
I think we're playing a new game now. You score, we score.
It looks like a college basketball game, doesn't it? It might end up that sort of scoreline.
The first half was, we'll let you score a few, you let us score a few.
He's still got Gil Dudson to come back on the field, which is when I thought Salford looked at the best. He's got Elliot Keir now, gets them up towards the halfway line.
The Welsh duo out on the left edge for the Salford Red Devils. Elliot Keir and Rhys Williams will both be hoping to play for Wales in the Rugby League World Cup, of course,
Move now, step back, Junior.
next year.
Hold. No, cause himself, go.
On the last again, Lola here launches a high one. And this is a difficult one to take. The ball goes backwards. Play on, says the referee, and it was McCarthy who tried to chip the ball forward, but Gareth O'Brien was in the right place at the right time. Good positioning from the fullback.
He doesn't get those wrong too many times, does he, Gareth O'Brien? Good reaction from him. A short little dab over the line. It's at that tipping point now, isn't it? The last quarter, you see everybody's lacking a little bit of energy. That game plan and structure that they went out with has gone out the window, and it's that instinctive period of a match, the last quarter.
I'm not sure a game plan will come into it now. I think a lot of it will come down to fitness, to tiredness, to the odd mistake, to the odd bit of brilliance.
Well, brilliance like a kick there, wouldn't it? He split the winger and fullback. There are 2 players back, Salford, and he's gained a good 40 metres plus net gain on that from where they've kicked to where they've tackled.
We've still got a fair way to go to beat the Super League record. Leeds 52, Huddersfield 46 on this very ground 19 years ago. 2001.
Go 3.
I may well have played in that.
I'm just going to ask you.
I may well have contributed to quite a few points in that game.
You can't
I'm not saying for who.
You can't have tackled too well for sure. Here is O'Brien.
I've just checked, Barry, you were suspended.
Again.
Ooh. A dangerous tackle.
There is Dudson. Cruncher on Gareth O'Brien. Foster now for the Castleford Tigers. Still 24 minutes to go, and we'll savour every one of them, I'm sure.
Move together all the way here. Come on, Andy, hold now.
Cass, of course, have lost all 3 since the restart, beaten by Catalan, Saints and Wigan.
4. Move now.
They haven't lost 4 on the spin in Super League since Ian Millward was in charge back in 2013. Darryl Powell then has never lost 4 on the spin as Castleford coach. Good run. In the end, did manage to get the kick away. They're claiming there that Richardson was pulled down as he was chasing the ball. I'm sure we'll have another look at that.
Yeah, he did well, didn't he, to get out of the way of the Salford players that were trying to put him off that kick. Twinkle toes, Richardson found the kick, tried to chase it, and somehow lost his footing, and the referee wasn't having any of it.
Back in game. Wellham of actually playing the ball. Here is Gil Dodson. As Phil was saying, he will be very important in the last 20 minutes or so for Ian Watson and his Salford team. Greenwood up to halfway.
Well done, Danny Richardson. A big back rower, there you go. So Danny Richardson had James Greenwood running at him. Jumped up, clamped on. Didn't really affect the tackle, but didn't get bumped off, and then in an attempt to untangle himself. Fortunately, the back row has had a good game this evening. Just loses control. You can see shoulder around the ball. Keeps around about that shoulder area. Isn't bumped off, isn't a liability in defence.
5, 4, closer, James.
1-0 to the little fella.
Yeah, and a good opportunity to build from halfway. It will be a worry for Ian Watson, you know, when you consider that they've conceded over 80 points in the last couple of hours. 54-18, they were beaten at Warrington last weekend by Hull FC. Andy Last with his first win as coach of Hull FC. Here's Junior Moores.
Well, they need a fit Junior Moores out there, don't they? He looks a little bit hesitant.
4.
Psychologically, after being out with that sort of injury, knee injury, and then coming back, going to be a bit tentative. Griffin played in the grand final, of course, for Salford last October. George Griffin. Richardson goes for the corner. The ball bouncing around. Knock on.
Turnover.
Knock on by Castleford. Peter Matautia trying to claim it was the other way round.
Well, we've had 60 points in 60 minutes, and we've got the final 20, which is all that people will remember when they go home or wake up in the morning, because that'll be the thing that determines the winners of this game. Your mind might forget all of the tries we've had up to this point. There's a hero still to stand up in this game, and we're going to find him in the next 20.
2, move, mate. We've got to hold for the foot, mate. Hold with me this time. Hold. Don't trap
two
him in,
more
Chris,
cracking games coming up on Friday night here from Headingley. Huddersfield ravaged by injuries against the Saints, who are looking to go top of the table. Followed by Warrington -6 because of players having to go into isolation after the COVID positive tests at Wakefield. But they're going ahead, they're giving it a go against Hull FC. Both games live on Sky Sports Friday night. Which way is this one going to go? Brown digs the kick downfield, it's a good one, and Alford just about shepherds the ball behind. So attack 20 for Cass, and still too close to call. Entering the last 20 minutes, all square. And I wonder, golden points, extra time, anyone?
Go.
We might see it, because these two teams are evenly matched. They're both just as big of a threat with the ball. For me, it's about the team that applies themselves defensively. If it was a game of tennis, it's about returning that ball over the net.
Go. 3, move, James, get square. Hold. 3. 4, move now.
Tell you what's impressed me as well, the pace that the game is being played at. It's relentless, isn't it? Matautia. Here is Gareth O'Brien, pass inside for his captain. Shenton looking for a way through, the offload, it goes backwards, picked up, one hand, one bounce pretty much by Danny Richardson.
Move now all the way here, Paulie. Hold me. Hold.
Last tackle then, McShane. And it is Matautia towards the corner. Williams goes up, and well, it was well taken in the end by Alfords, but just couldn't keep hold of the ball.
Second time they've gone to Reece Williams over on that side, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry.
Both players jump up. Darrell Alfords comes down with it, but can't keep hold.
No, it's on the 10, boys. Sorry, George. It's on the 10.
It is literally like a game of tennis at the minute, isn't it? Sets of 6, sets of 6.
Sorry.
Well, if Steve-O was here, I'm sure he'd be talking about the one-pointer. When do they start thinking about that?
Move now.
I suppose they can start to think as soon as they like. And
yeah, I would say the same. Often teams leave it until the last minute. A psychological difference mentally that odd number creates for rugby league players is always worth taking advantage of. You sometimes see teams get it 2-3 minutes before half-time. It's never the wrong time to get it.
And it's on the scoreboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
4, move, mate.
It's a very good point.
Hold here.
Thank you.
Go 4.
I'll try not to do it again.
Judson for Salford does well. Powers his way over halfway. Ackers and Lolla here off the side of the boot. Where's this one going to go? Wellham can't get hold of it, but Michael Shenton can. Shenton looking for a way through. Important tackle. Had to be by who else but Luke Yates.
1, move now. Hold me.
Junior Moores hasn't played for a while, and he's really feeling the pace at present.
Move now, back here. Hold. Go 2.
It's tough out there for sure.
It is, and when you've got lower limb injuries, it's tough to get out on the field without damaging the injury itself.
I tell you what, Danny Richardson's running at people more than Barry, which is what you've encouraged. So Salford knock on, and Castleford will get the ball again.
Yeah, it's good to see, isn't it?
And
that's what he does.
He's running at people without even having other teammate options. You see, he's offload and then the ball knocked down.
And that's one of the best defenders in Super League in front of him, Luke Yates. So
it came off Andy Ackers.
Sometimes when halfbacks don't take defenders on, you can look at it and think to yourself, is it because they're not tough enough, they're not brave enough? It's rarely that. Sometimes it's confidence.
Yeah, it's okay.
And he looks to be playing confident tonight, Danny Richardson.
1, move now, hold.
When Castleford Tigers were good in the first half, it was when Paul McShane was running and Danny Richardson.
2, move, back here, hold. Wait with me. Go 2.
Griffin brought down. Matautia for
3.
Oliver Holmes.
Move back. Hold me. Hold. Goal 3.
See. I wonder if they are setting up for that drop goal. We've still got, what, 15 minutes to go.
Would you give it Gareth O'Brien?
Goal 4.
Well, the ball goes back to Danny Richardson. And there we have it. There is that crucial 1 point. And it came with 15 minutes to go. And we were thinking about it. We talked about it. And now we've seen it. I think it was the right thing to do. It's the right play to edge Cas back in front.
Super smart there, wasn't it? And Gareth O'Brien, who can forget the dramatic drop goal that O'Brien, I'll get there in the end, Gareth O'Brien put over for Salford in that £1 million game. He was just on the shoulder, wasn't he, of Danny Richardson, just in case the defenders got to the 7.
One of the most dramatic moments in the history of Super League, wasn't it? Gareth O'Brien, October 2016, the Salford saviour.
Hold.
Drop goal.
Goal 1.
To keep Salford in Super League and relegate Hull KR.
2.
From almost halfway.
Wait. Hold.
I admire Danny Richardson's confidence, bravery, willingness to put his hands on the ball. He didn't have any protection in front of him. There's just the ball straight to him. Do your best.
I think there's little doubt that
4.
Darryl Powell has encouraged both his half-backs to run at the line tonight. And they've followed his instructions. McShane looks for a way through, and just tackled there by Ackers and by Yates.
He was half a step away, wasn't it, Gareth O'Brien? Well, for Castleford Tigers, yeah, they'll be hoping that that's cramp rather than a pull or a strain. You can see gets out. Is there anything untoward? I don't see anything.
No, I think he was twisting round, wasn't he? Trying to twist
Yeah,
round.
but the players around the bottom, sometimes you do see an extra roll or something that's a little bit cynical, but thankfully nothing. I don't think there's nothing to see on that occasion.
Spot on, Barry.
Oh, you've got to play it, mate. Hold it, this will be last.
14 minutes to go. Who was buying the coffees tomorrow?
Oh, you've got nervous now. The Tigers, they've gone nervous, kicking for touch.
£3.80 is a lot of money.
You are just joining us. Phil and Barry having a little side wager at half-time.
In fact, I'm going to back myself here. And I want a proper coffee, Phil. From a proper coffee shop, £3.80 at least.
Come on, guys, let's get in.
We're turning up with one of them plastic
cups.
cups.
I thought you were watching your figure now.
No, I'm a medium. Medium Americano with hot milk.
Phil taking Salford, Barry taking Castleford. That's advantage McDermott, but we still have 13.5 minutes to go.
Move! Hold me. Hold.
Only 2 tries in the second half.
3. Move now.
It's all gone quiet now, hasn't it?
Go.
Very tense.
Dunson.
Held. Release. Go 4. Shortened it.
Ackers back involved. And Lola here just getting the ball out there and picked up well by Wellham, but Matautia in there to make the tackle.
They need a better kick here, Salford. The last 2 or 3 times, and he's chose to run it. Lola here.
Luck rather than judgment finds Kevin Brown. Kicks the ball.
It's the best kick for about the last 15 to 20 minutes that they've put in, isn't it? Perhaps by accident, agree.
Yeah.
But they've got some territory on it. The previous ones didn't go far enough. Didn't have any control on that tackle, though, was forced to get driven back by Lola here. Now they're getting interested in the defence.
Lola here, he's a reactive, instinctive player. It's not perhaps kicks like that for territory that he needs to focus on. Kevin Brown over on that left side for Salford needs to take control of those last tackle plays.
4. Move now, keep coming. Go.
2 tackles left in this set. Matautia again taking the line on.
Move now.
As he has done all night.
Go.
Richardson.
Ooh, out on the full.
Yeah. It is the first real mistake from Danny Richardson in this game, and that means decent field position for Salford. on halfway, trailing by 1 with 12 minutes left.
Go straight
Good
away,
pressure,
please.
isn't it? Good pressure. Doesn't have no think time, Danny Richardson.
There's
He's
no
rushed
shot clock on them, Paul.
into his kick. He has to step. I
One.
think it was that player,
Move
Mark
now.
Flanagan, that took the
Hold.
time away.
Hold.
Does all the
Go
little
on.
things right, Mark Flanagan.
Brown, Evans now. Elliot Keir for Salford. Midway now inside the Castleford half of the field. Danny Richardson's drop goal after 65 minutes. The difference between the two sides. Dudson.
Move now. Wait here, hold.
We're
Hold.
going to see that little bit of magic. Who's going to be the hero? Brown, it's a set move. Evans chasing through, but there was too much on the kick. Well, that was certainly one off the training ground without a shadow of a doubt. Brown with the kick, but just too heavy as Evans raced through.
Second kick, second good outcome for Salford, isn't it? They're putting pressure on that nervous, apprehensive energy. I think they're just having another look to see how the ball goes over the sideline. Gareth O'Brien can feel the breath of his opposite. Nobody touches it. So it's the correct decision. Castleford get to run that ball out.
Zero. Move
But
now.
with 11 minutes,
Go
or
zero.
just less, Kevin Brown, it's his time
One.
to interject
Move
himself.
Now, hold me.
Take
Hold.
control.
Go.
Eden.
1. 2. Move. Hold. Go. Offload.
Again, the offload from Watts on halfway.
Stolen
well dealt
it.
with.
Oh, that's a bad look.
Tackle's complete.
He said the tackle was
Once he's on
complete
the
as he
floor,
hit the
it's complete.
ground.
Shame for Salford, wasn't it? It was a good reaction. They recognised Watts, and you can hear them calling offload, offload. They get the player that the ball is offload to, and you're right. He's on the floor. Matautia, tackle complete, and Lulla here can't do that.
That's a split second, isn't it? That's a split second away from being a ball steal.
Time back.
Fine margins at the moment, just the finest margin that's separating Salford and Castleford.
Hold here, hold James. Hold, hold,
They were
hold.
locked at 24 apiece at half-time. Defences have stepped up a lot more, of course, in this second half. Just 2 tries so far.
Wait. Go on.
The next try may well be the match winner. We shall see. Nathan Massey
Wait.
for Castleford. And McShane. Richardson, McMeekan.
Move.
He scored
Go. 3.
Cassie try in this second half. No way through for Alfords. Brown with the tackle. They go the short side once more. Foster can't find a way through. Good defence from Salford.
Couple of wasted tackles there for me. Couple of
Evans in there. Dummy from McShane. Little kick through. And in the end, it was bounced on, I think, by Greenwood, wasn't it? It's going to be a goal line dropout.
Paul McShane, smart player. Looks short side, comes back to open, doesn't see anything, nobody pushing forward. So puts his trusted left boot on the ball.
Let's go when you're ready,
As you can see, hard work. Is it Nathan Massey who ends up completing the tackle?
You're right, they wasted
James
about
Greenwood.
3 of the 6 in that set, all in the corner. They've saved themselves at the end, though. Will this be a short restart, which Salford have done from time to time? No, he's put it to Matautia.
Off the side of the boot from Chris Ganimi.
They've got 3 of the grafting middlemen on the field at the same time. Millington, Liam Watts and Nathan Massey. They're in charge of setting up plays, making sure that the runners, the dummy runners, the things that take the attention away from the defenders are all in place.
Richardson, charge there from McMeekan.
Great tackle by Greg Burke to stop him short.
Inches away now. Richardson again. Ball goes through and it's picked up by Grant Millington. And has Grant Millington won the match for the Castleford Tigers? Robin Hicks says it's a try. Ben Saylor will confirm or otherwise. But Cass think that Millington may well have won the game. We shall see.
I think somebody was offside. I don't know if it's the Salford defence.
He's onside a mile.
Can't tell from that angle, Barry.
He's onside a mile. What a pick-up from the big man.
It's a great short kick again, isn't it? Do you know, Danny Richardson's kick got them the first try, got them back into this game, and Danny Richardson's kick might have just got them the last one, the one that wins it for them.
It was Paul McShane with the initial kick to force the extra set, and Danny Richardson with the kick that sets up the try. I'm sure McShane and Richardson will both be in Barry's mind for his man of the match selection.
Absolutely.
A kick here from Danny Richardson, and of course it means that Salford have to score twice in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Of course, there's more detail than meets the eye when you look at the pass, the kick, the pick-up from Millington, but I mentioned in a massive Liam Watts, their unselfish run, they just distract, they just interest defenders so they can't push on, they can't move. So a well-worked team try there from the Tigers.
So Danny Richardson will kick those all day and all night, and it is a 7-point ball game. And our Castleford closing in on their first win since the Super League restart.
Well, they may well be here on some brilliance. His vision and his reaction, we agree. The skill, ball bounces kindly for Millington. It's given them a significant 7-point lead with 7 minutes to go. I think Salford, with Inu, have got to contest this ball here. They've got to try and find a way of getting it back immediately.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Back. 0.
Well, it's been knocked on, I think, by
Shot clock on. Cast ball.
McMeekin. No, the referee said it was actually knocked on initially by Salford, so Cass will get the ball. Let's see what happens here.
It's certainly a contest, isn't it? I think it's Alex Foster who knocks the ball on.
We're ready now, yeah. Shot clock off.
Krishnan Inu, we've seen him do that countless times over his career.
Yes.
Catalan Dragons, Widnes Vikings. That is his speciality, that short kick-off. They're hunting Salford now. They know they need to get that ball back. They'll have to watch the discipline, make sure they get back to the referee.
Once again, what a game he has had. I know it's the prop forwards union, but I'm saying, for me, he is my man of the match. But of course, the decision is yours, and yours alone. Barry McDermott to make in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Shot clock on.
Did that ball come out from Oliver Holmes? It did, so maybe a lifeline here for Salford.
He disagrees, doesn't it? Oggy Holmes, whenever you see the ball just without anybody around, just move away. I'm inclined to think that that ball is dislodged by the defender on the floor in the Salford shirt. Is it McCarthy? But they've got to defend now, Castleford. And Salford Red Devils,
Move now.
they can throw complete caution to the wing, can't they? Offloads, players flooding around the ball.
2. Move now. Hold. Go 2.
Well, you feel they've got to get some points on the board here. That is a high tackle. Watts on Greenwood.
If they can get Brown, Luller here and Evans to combine, that triangle of players there at speed gives them a great chance of scoring.
Dudson.
Move now. Hold.
5 minutes to go.
6 again.
6 to go. There's Paul McShane on Gil Dudson in the tackle.
1. Move now.
Now then, Salford will really believe, especially if they can score here. Ackers and Brown. Brown goes on his own for the line. Just short, Kevin Brown scored their first try with an intercept. Seems like an age ago. Well picked up off the ground.
Yeah, I've got you, Frank, thank you.
Elliot Keir.
3.
No way through.
Lucky not to concede a penalty, Alex Foster then.
Dragging him into touch. Just let go at the right time, didn't he?
Ball line. Go.
Brown. Oh dear. Well, there's the mistake.
Joy Lussick, isn't it?
Kevin.
Just couldn't hold on, Lussick.
Right, well, I've missed it then.
Yeah, it's a bad drop, that. Nothing wrong with the pass.
It just takes the sting out of the situation.
It's a little bit far out in front of Lussick. But he was there, thereabouts. He was good enough to catch it. Still time yet.
Surrender.
They'll still get another 2 goals with the ball.
Hold.
I'm starting to think I might need to bring that travel kettle tomorrow, Barry. I've got an old sachet of coffee from a lake at Earth flight I once made. I might have to...
No, I'll send you a postcode to a coffee shop down the road.
Go 2. Don't need play on.
I'm not allowed to tell you.
Oh, McShane bursting through. What a game he has had as well, looking for a way through.
Play on, play on.
And Lola here just about does enough to stop the momentum of Paul McShane. Lussock's in there as well.
Go 3. Watch them there.
Massey.
Help! Release! Go 4. Last. Move now.
They don't need to take any risks now, Castleford Tigers, do they? Managing the game, Danny Richardson. It's probably, for me, his best game in a Castleford shirt this evening. He's controlled the pace, the tempo of the game. He's not been perfect, but he's took the line on.
Time off.
Apologies, Barry, because your opinion doesn't matter, and neither does mine. It's actually Phil who's going to
what I've said,
choose man of the match.
Let me tell you, what I've said is, because I've won the coffee, I'm going to let you pick the man of the match, because that's me. I'm fair.
Go on.
Phil, there must be a plethora of contenders.
There are on both sides, really. What a brilliant game. 67 points in 77 minutes. I don't know whether we'll see many more here. Fantastic first half. The pace relentless. It was impossible to maintain that level. And if anything, probably both teams improved the defence in the second period. That's probably the focus. Thinking if we can defend better than our opponents, we'll probably win the way we're scoring points. Chip over the top here
from
for Dudson.
Brown. Dudson it is who's chasing through. The wicked bounce to the ball. Pounced on by Greg Burke. Well, that was played off the floor. I don't think you can have any complaints there.
No, you can see what he's thinking. He wants to keep the ball alive. When the ball bounces back at the big fella, Gil Dudson, I would like to have seen him collect that ball and see what damage he could have caused. But his front row partner ends up with the ball in his hand, Greg Burke, and he's tackled.
Well, that should be that. 2 minutes to go, and a 7-point ball game. Cass had the ball, and Phil, the man of the match is.
Well, the number of contenders, but I think the player, I said before, his kick got the side going with his first try, and his kick given them the last try. Danny Richardson, the number 7 for Castleford Tigers, wins my man of the match for the Betfred Super League round 11 contest here, which has been one of the best games we've had of the season. Castleford against Salford.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Fair play to both players. They have given it their all. Salford don't play next week. But I know Ian Watson is going to have his team on standby just in case they're needed.
You say that, don't you? Yeah.
He's absolutely going to have them training in case they are called upon to play next weekend. They're due to have the weekend off. Cass will play Warrington, and it looks like Cass will be playing Warrington with a win. Their first in 4 since the Super League restart.
Well, Liam Watts is trying to play that ball.
Time off.
There's a little bit of attention, a little bit of arms in, hands in. The ball moves, bobbles. He looks at the referee. He wants a penalty. It's Gil Dudson, Greg Burke, in an attempt to play the ball. He looks at the referee. He wants a penalty and ends up conceding a knock-on. But you're right. They might have a week off next week, but it's about being agile this year, isn't it? Ready, willing to play whoever.
Well, the set restart will be academic. This has been a fabulous game of Super League, and it's been a fantastic night, of course, with Hull Kingston Rovers' heroic victory, bottom beating top against the Wigan Warriors earlier. We saw 8 tries in the first half as Salford and Cass were locked together at 24 points apiece, but in the second half, defences have stepped up, but 2 really important moments involving Watson, Richardson, and then Richardson tries from Meakin and then for Millington, and it is a win for the Castleford Tigers to keep up their hopes of qualifying for the Super League semi-finals later in the year. Ian Watson will be desperately disappointed, especially after Salford raced into an 18-point lead inside the first 11 minutes. All the players are absolutely out on their feet, but all the players have provided an absolute Super League stormer.
A bit of recovery time for both sets of players now. Asked to play on Sunday, asked to play a couple of days later, still stiff and sore from the previous round of fixtures. But in terms of Castleford, to get that vital win, they've been up against it, they've had adversity thrown at them, they've planned for teams, then had to change, not playing, then called upon to play. And for Salford Red Devils, that period of quarantine, no doubt that's affected them, but they're trying to build in some fluidity to their play, trying to get their attitude right. Well, they were certainly right in that first probably 25 minutes. They looked red hot. The coach was enjoying everything that he was watching, but whether it was a bit of fatigue or just the quality of their opponents, they end up going home without the 2 points, and Cast Tigers get that win.
And you would feel that that's the end of the road as far as Salford are concerned in their hopes of getting back to a grand final at Old Trafford. But the hope's still very much alive for Castleford. Brilliant game. Castleford beating Salford by 37 points to 30.
Thanks very much, Stuart. We'll let you take a rest. 67 points, 48.